That's enough for you, Ray Summers from Neighbourhood Watch, hey? You'd be basking in the glory and the glow right now, wouldn't you?
Well, a little bit. I wasn't too impressed what was going on in the second half against Essendon.
Doesn't matter.
I think we were 10 goals in front at half-time and we won by 10 points.
Doesn't matter. It's still a win. Look,
yes,
we take it when we can get it, mate, as you well know.
Now, what about Carlton?
Hey, what about that?
Hey? I put down here, Peter, Carlton North could be in the grand final together. Now, you didn't think that at the beginning of the year.
I certainly didn't, and I still don't, I have to be honest.
Yes, quite amazing. But I think what is amazing is how poorly Fremantle is performing.
Interesting, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
There are not many changes, but they've lost Fife. He's out for the season. But anyway.
Yeah, but it's good to have the teams evening out a bit and the season evening out a bit. We've had a tendency over the past several years for the good teams have always been the better teams and the not so good teams have been at the bottom. It's tending to get a bit mixed up right now, and I think that's a good thing.
Geelong, Hawthorn and Sydney, and they got pipped after the siren?
Yeah.
Yes, man, will that do Richmond good?
Well, yes. Yeah, how about that? Well, it's all in the lap of. But as for a North Melbourne Carlton grand final, look, I think you'd be drawing a pretty long bow on that, mate.
You and I, if it's on, we'll cancel.
We'll be there.
We'll cancel radio on the Monday.
That's right. We'll still be celebrating.
Well,
it'd be nice. What's happening in Neighbourhood Watch,
happened?
Ray?
We've been busy. We've had another crime prevention activity where we walk the streets. And last Monday, the 2nd of May, we concentrated on cars parked around railway stations and in the side streets where cars have to park because there's not enough parking at the station any longer.
No.
And we concentrated on Surrey Hills, Box Hill, Laburnum, Blackburn and Nuttawading. And if you go to Blackburn, don't park your car there because there isn't any parking. With the development that's taking place, they've lost a lot of the parking. So it's a turmoil for parking due to the development of this area.
Yes, and this is becoming quite an issue with railway stations in most suburbs now because the government is encouraging people to take public transport.
Yes.
But a lot of people still have to drive to a station. Where do they jolly well park? I know around our area this is a problem and we find cars parked illegally across driveways for the whole day and that sort of thing, which is not good and it's causing some angst.
It's happening in Blackburn. It happens in my street. Yeah. They park down near the creek.
Yeah.
I reckon they need a bus to get from their car to the station.
But obviously something has to be done about it. They're going to have to buy blocks of land or something to create better parking or put in multi-storey parking.
Well, they've done that at Sindel.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you're going down Blackburn Road, under the railway line, there's a big multi-storey car park around on your corner.
Well, that would
I think I'm at the
problem.
right station. Yes.
Yeah, it would be Sindel down that road. Yeah.
It's not Glen Waverley. Anyway, in Blackburn Road, they have built this big multi-storey car park.
I wasn't aware of that.
And you're right. It's got to happen more and more.
Yes.
It's just got to be.
Got to be. Sorry, I sidetracked us there.
No.
Please
Something I did want to mention, and this is becoming, it's there all the time, but we don't give it enough attention, and that is family violence in the eastern suburbs. And once I recall speaking with the Eastern Family Violence Unit, and I thought in leafy eastern suburbs we don't have very much of that. And she said, Ray, we do. It's just that you have higher fences in the eastern suburbs, so it doesn't get out.
No, good point.
Yeah. Anyway, in particular the area that they're concentrating on, which is a very silent area, the abuse of older people in Whitehorse, often by their children and grandchildren, has more than doubled in the last 4 years. Crime Stats Agency data found 68 people in Whitehorse aged 65 or older reported family violence-related abuse last year. And that's up from 30 reports in 2011. And like all of these things, we only hear about the tip of the iceberg.
How true.
Alastair Gall, Sergeant Alastair Gall from the Box Hill-based Eastern Family Violence Unit, said elder abuse was a silent sleeper. Adult children, teenagers are abusing their grandparents. It is not just physical harm, it can be financial abuse or emotional, he said. Victims are often embarrassed and intimidated, Sergeant Gall said, and the use of drugs, alcohol, mental health and financial issues were often associated with the offending. He said many people were unaware their loved one's behaviour was abused. It is often difficult for people to report when they are under the power and control of a son or daughter or carer. Anyone affected by family violence should phone the police on 000 or Eastern Domestic Violence Service at 9259 4200. And the thing I like about them at the Domestic Violence Service, you can get advice, you can even have consultation, and that early stage doesn't cost any money, so that they can send you in directions to help the situation. More than 150 offenders have been dealt with since the unit started at the end of 2013. This is the police unit, with 75 people dealt with last year alone. Sergeant Gall said it was uplifting to see people willing to report and speak up against violence. The state government has pledged more than $500 million to tackling family violence as part of its commitment to implementing all 227 recommendations from the Royal Commission. So it is a big problem, and like I mentioned, we have high offences in the eastern suburbs, so therefore we don't know about it. But it's there and it's real. In that group that they've got operating, with the police, I think there's about 8 or 9 permanent members in the team. And what they are doing is rotating. They're always bringing in a new member to have a 6-month experience and then returning to their station. So they're strengthening the individual stations, with a contact person. Now, unfortunately, the regular things are still continuing. Burglaries from over the last month. And I think they happen in every suburb, Peter. Box Hill, North, Blackburn South, Mont Albert, Mitcham, North, South, East and West, Burwood East, Nunawading, Burwood, Blackburn North, and on it goes. Couple of aggravated burglaries, people at home at the time.
Yeah, more
One
of that.
in Surrey Hills, they jimmied open the doors, stole an iPhone, laptop, keys, and the keys to the silver Honda. So you'll have to part with your BMW. They're wanted. And another area they're moved into is targeting storage cages in multi-development. They usually have cages where you put all the good things and lock them up.
Yeah.
They can go there and do it. Goodwin Street, Blackburn. An offender knocked on the front door, victim home but did not answer. Offender attempted to gain entry via garage and the offender was disturbed. And on it goes. It's just non-stop. And I gave you theft of motor vehicles. And again, every suburb is mentioned. No one is spared. And like I said, if you live in Vermont, they also visit Vermont North, South, East and West. Mitcham the same. I don't know that there's any Holdens, Nissans, Subarus, motorbikes, Honda motorbike, Toyota Ute, Pulsar, another motorbike. Yes. On it goes.
No one is safe.
No one is safe.
No vehicle is safe, no.
And it's something like, at one period last year, parked in the street, 1 in every 5 vehicles was unlocked.
Was unlocked?
Unlocked.
Oh, for goodness sake. People won't
And
learn.
of course, you don't have to lock them if you park them in the drive. It's on my land.
That's right. Nobody will come in there.
Absolutely. Theft from motor vehicles. And again, it goes right across the whole business. In Surrey Hills, and I gather they're connected to another person of burglary there, tried a street parked vehicle and stole $560 in coins and sunglasses.
Out of the car?
Out of the car.
Why would you carry $560 worth of coins in your car anyway? That doesn't make sense.
You don't even need them for the pokies these days. You can do it on your Visa card.
That's right. Good grief.
What is interesting, tradie vehicles targeted in Trawell Street, Box Hill North, so there must be some building going up there.
Sounds
Whitehorse Road, Mont Albert, another rear canopy parked in a driveway forced open for power tools. Leonard Street, Burwood, toolbox jimmied open. And again, they mention about storage cages broken into and searched. And then number plate theft. And it's the same, a list of everybody. Fords and Holdens are targeted, most thefts while parked in the street.
Yes.
Now, I wasn't out buying, but here's another thing that's moved in. Faked $50 notes have turned up in Whitehorse businesses. On the first occasion, a fake note was used at a pizza shop in Blackburn, and several days later, another one at a retail outlet in Box Hill. Forest Hill Senior Sergeant Tim Hardiman, it's something that pops up from time to time about fake.
Not very often though.
No, well, it's getting less. But what was the concern was a lot of businesses use part-time staff, or they might be busy and they won't notice it until they do the count at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we've just got to be more aware of it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would know a fake $50 note.
I don't see them often.
Exactly, I don't see many.
No, that's right.
He said traders who came across a fake note had urged not to handle them too much, put them in a clear plastic bag and take them to the police station. So...
You won't get your money back, though, will you? Unless you actually take it in. If you take it to a bank, I think you get your money back, don't you?
Do you?
I think, but I'm not 100% sure of that.
Don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'd go and get rid of it as quick as I could.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What happens if you deposited at one of those money machines where you put your money into a envelope and you deposit it?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Perhaps we should
hope
follow
they get
that
them
up.
mixed up.
Yes, indeed. But be aware, some fake $50 bills hanging around.
Yes.
I'd like to see one, to see actually what it's like. What are the differences?
What are the points that vary?
Yeah.
But unless you're familiar with a good one, you might not notice the difference.
No, that's true. Well, perhaps you could bring one in next time. You've got a stash.
Well, I do print them, but I haven't printed for a while. When the weather cools off a bit, the drying process slows down. Peter, some numbers that I ought to contact points.
Yes.
Whitehorse e-news. Where are we? Whitehorse at nhw.com.au. Our postal address, Post Office Box 5005, Laburnum 3130. What is important? Box Hill Police Station 8892 3200 and Forest Hill Police Station 8847 3600, and both those stations are 24 hours. But if you want police now, call 000. Don't fiddle around calling the police station.
000 straight away.
And an important number to remember is Crime Stoppers 1800 333 000. And I think that's about it. And what I remind you, and in my note to you earlier, Peter, I gave you the wrong date for next Monday.
Oh, goodness. What is the...
I think it's Monday the 20th of June.
Yes, it would be.
Yes.
It would be, that's right.
I thought it was the 13th. I thought you and I were the only ones who worked
on the Queen's birthday.
Public holidays.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
no.
so we got the day off.
No such luck.
Yeah. Anyway, the good news is Graham Elder is planning to come along.
Looking forward to that.
And he'll give us an update on what's happening on the big picture of Neighbourhood Watch Victoria.
Oh, that's great. I'll look forward to seeing Graham again. It has been quite a while, so I'll look forward to catching up with him.
Well, he's up and moving, driving the Honda.
Yes.
Walking, no walking stick.
Good.
And eating well.
That's good news. Terrific.
Yes. Thank you, Peter.
Ray Summers from Neighbourhood Watch. Thank you, Ray. Look forward to catching up next month. And in the meantime, may the best team win next weekend. That's all I'll say on that matter.
This is it for you and I, isn't it, next week?
It's the big one. It's the big one.
It's subject to who wins, who sends the first email.
That's right. If it goes very quiet from my end, you'll know exactly. Good on you, mate. Take care.
Thank you, Peter.
Hooroo. And it's just 16 minutes before 10. My colleague is coming up at